Whoa, whoa,
All right.
whoa.
Now I think we're good. How we doing,
Well,
Sean?
I'm doing freaking Splenda, but also not Splenda. Uh, I have been like, at least this week alone, I have had some really low lows. Maybe not my lowest, but definitely pretty low. But also some of the highest I've ever been in my life. And if you include not just this last week, but like the past 2 to 3 weeks,
Yeah,
high. I'm so high up I can't find the ground.
same. It's been a wild few weeks, I guess, like including the time since we last saw each other in person. But I
That's
guess that was about
insane.
2 weeks ago, right?
No.
I think it was.
Oh, yes. My
Like
bad.
no way.
It's just
Yeah.
because our schedule was so crazy that like there were periods where like we weren't really able to get together for like a month and
Right.
then we got back together. It's just I don't know. The schedule's been wild.
Yeah.
Schedule's been wild recently. So
Sorry, I need some agua.
but yeah, no, we back in the building, catching a feeling. Uh I'll start this past Sunday. I was at It's All a Blur Drake concert.
Hmm.
Hold on, stay right there.
Okay, Kevin Only podcast. So this past Sunday, I was not at the Drake concert, but I was. What was I doing on Sunday? I feel like Sunday was like a very busy day for me for some reason, but I can't remember
Word.
why.
All right, I'm
Oh,
back. So, hold on. I don't know if I can hold the mic and do this at the same time. Here, I'll try to put it like this. So, here's some proof that I was there.
oh wow.
You know, EAB is short for It's
What
All a Blur.
is it a blur?
It was a blur. Like, all right, I'm gonna go into it in a minute. I just want to show off the merch because it's actually pretty fire.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if you can read that name
Paid
down
for
there.
by Drake and Company.
So,
Wow. Paid for by Drake and Company. Wait, were they free sweatshirts?
no,
What do
no,
you mean? Then it's paid for by me.
no company will pay for something if it doesn't pay them back. I'm telling you,
Then
not in
it's
America at least.
Bro, then it's paid for by me. Why is Drake taking credit for me buying his merch?
He's passing the payment, so he paid first to have it made, and then we're paying to take it from him. So now I've
I know.
paid for it by King Kudjo. So you
I
know what I
know.
mean?
I just thought it would be funny if if
He
like he
actually
meant
paid
just
for it.
like
Dude, it'd be so
right.
fire if he was in like a van and he was just like, "Yo, I paid for this, so go ahead and
Mm-hmm.
grab." Anyway, I was at IAAB on Sunday, and oh my god, like it was genuinely a blur because the theme. I mean, you can kind of tell by the title, but the theme of the tour is that he's been working nonstop for over a decade, maybe like 11 years now. He started back in like
Wow.
2008, 9,
No days
got a
off.
hit, got a hit 2010, 11, and then just nonstop hits for a decade. So he actually when
Wow.
the
Yeah.
tour when he starts the show, like this bed rises or this couch rises from the stage, and then it's like a younger version of him.
Whoa.
um
He did like the de-aging like Robert Downey Jr.
it's
or
weird because you're so far from the
Arnold
stage you can't
Schwarzenegger.
actually tell what that person looks like, but the monitors which gets you like a better view, it's like they like stitch Drake's face on top of whoever that kid was, so it's like you're seeing young
Whoa.
Drake
What?
with old Drake. Yeah, it's
That's so
crazy.
weird. It's kind of like it's kind of like Captain America, where they like put they had like the young actor play young Steve Rogers, and then they just like put Chris Evans' face on the young actor.
Yeah, or when at the end when like Cap's really old and then they stick the
Oh
young Chris
yeah.
Evans on the old version of Chris. Yeah, so something like that.
Yeah, it's all
And
creepy looking. It's all creepy looking.
it's weird and it's even weirder because it's live. So any
Mm,
movement that kid was doing, like it's live. Like it's not like After Effects touch ups, like it's live. So it
yeah.
was pretty crazy. And he was just sharing stories. Like, okay, so he starts off with songs from his uh early career, and then it's like that's like the first act. Then there's a
Hmm.
second act where he goes through just like the hits.
Mm-hmm,
Just goes
mm-hmm.
through like a billion freaking hits. There's so many hits. He takes a break for 10 minutes, goes to the DJ booth, just like hang out and grab a drink. And then he has the DJ, or maybe he's even DJing himself because he's at the board and he's just like mixing like four other songs together.
So
So he's playing
you
hits even
also,
on his break time.
it should be mentioned that you got lucky because people complained that his set for this tour earlier sucked. So he changed the set for this weekend.
I'm not sure if people were saying it sucked. I
Or
mean,
I'm
at this
I'm
point,
over
I've technically
exaggerating. I'm
seen.
over exaggerating. But he like didn't have enough
Yeah,
hits.
no. So what had happened was now that's not true because there's actually now looking back, there are some songs that he didn't play, but he still performed for 2 hours.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but he did have an original set
Right.
before coming to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And maybe, I mean, my guess, he got tired of playing the same songs over and over again. Because
Yeah.
yes, there's the tour, but he's been also going to a bunch of different like festivals and stages and doing all of the hits all
Right.
the time. So my guess he got bored of it. And then Travis Scott also just dropped his new album. I said that on the last pod, actually.
Yeah.
It's called Utopia. He has an amazing verse on the song Meltdown on Utopia.
Oh, I've heard
So
Meltdown
yeah, he
on
goes
accident.
crazy on that. On accident.
I think Jay was playing some like Travis Scott or something one time, like on
Word,
my phone because he was like connected to a speaker. And so
word.
then on my recommended songs on Spotify, like Meltdown popped up, which usually is like not my like not quite what I have on my playlists, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, it's not.
I was like, all right, I'll listen to it just because like why not? And then I was listening to it, I was like, okay, this is not bad. This kind of
He goes
goes.
kind of stupid, bro. Anyway, so that song literally just came out, and he added that to the set, along with I think he switched up a couple other songs, left some songs out, but put some new songs in. It was crazy. It was crazy. But yes, LA got a different set than normal. Also he was talking about because yes, there's first act he goes through the old hits,
Yeah,
second act he goes through just all the hits, and
yeah,
then third act he goes through first of all 21 Savage comes up to do a little 10-minute performance,
yeah.
and then he goes through all the new albums that he's done, like Honestly Nevermind and Her Loss. And what was the point I was trying to make? Right. But he broke up the acts in telling kind of like either stories or moments or images of like his early life.
Mhm.
So at the end of the first act, he played like snippets of Degrassi and Family Matters and like all these shows he was both watching and was in just to show like his mindset at the time.
Dude, I used to
Um,
watch Drake on Degrassi back in the day.
there's no way.
Yeah, Ashley
Did
and
you
I.
actually?
Seriously, yeah,
You still
I
watch
just
Degrassi?
dude, I probably saw Drake on Degrassi like before I heard Drake.
Jimmy in a
Be,
wheelchair?
because like he did he make music while he was on Degrassi or not?
He was
I
working on his music career, but it didn't really pick up until after he dropped the show.
okay, so I assume I did see Drake on Degrassi first before anything else. He was
He
pretty good.
probably did. He probably did. I mean, look, like out of all the rappers, I do think Drake is the best actor, or at
When's
least
he
top
returning?
five.
When's he returning to acting? When's his big
Returning to
return?
acting, we'll see, man. He says acting days are over. So
Uh,
anyway, so he was sharing stories, and he shared the story that I do want to share with the podcast. He was like, way back before I met Lil Wayne and my career took off, uh, I was making music and Dr. Dre heard some of my stuff. And so he wanted me to write music for him. So like he was gonna give me $10,000 and then drop me in LA and I was gonna be working with Dr. Dre.
mhm.
So Drake, and this is I'm quoting him right now, the lover boy I am. I wanted to ship my at the time girlfriend out to hang out with me in Los Angeles just because like he felt like he made it. His girlfriend's kind of like one of his supporters at the time. Like he
Mhm.
wanted to have his girl with him there.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Dre heard about this and sent his ass back to Toronto. And the whole deal kind of fell through.
Wait. Because he wanted to live with his girlfriend?
No, because he wanted to bring his girl to Calabasas. So
Why was Dr. Dre like nah about that?
yeah, so like the audience was like, "What? What happened?" And Drake was just explaining that like Dr. Dre was not trying to like be harsh or anything. He was just trying to give him a life lesson that he came out there to work, not to mess around with his girl and be
Huh.
all distracted. Like he's getting paid to do a job, and so he had to
Yeah.
focus, kind of refocus his art. And then he added on
Interesting.
top of that that
Interesting.
he thought his rap career was over after that, and then
Yeah.
eventually gets a call from Lil Wayne, and
Hmm.
the story's history after that.
Hmm.
But it goes to show that like it doesn't matter really uh if the big people in that industry like you at the time. What matters is the fans, and the
Right.
this is what he was trying to explain, that like it's the people that loved him and supported him to push him forward that really
Right.
kept his career the way it was. So
Yeah. I mean, that's also interesting to me because I don't know. I feel like um if he was getting paid by Dr. Dre at that time to work, then
yeah,
like he would have definitely like I don't see why he still can't like, come into the office. Did Dr. Dre want him working like 24/7?
I
Like
don't think 24/7, but I think Dr. Dre assumed if Drake brings his girl out here, he's going to be bringing her in the studio, bringing her around all this higher life kind of lifestyle. Is going to distract him from the work, which Dre was paying him to write songs, not to mess around with some
so
girl.
Dre really
So
was like he was like, "Nah, like you're solo in this venture." That's so interesting.
he was like, bro, I'm not giving you my money so you can send some other girl out here. Like, go
Yeah.
back. And it
Huh.
kind of taught him a lesson of being focused in his craft. And I thought that was like a really good message. And like it inspired me. So this is not the only story that he shared. He shared a couple other things along with hits. But
Yeah.
I walked out of that tour feeling so inspired to like, all right, like if I ever, because I mean I've already shared on here.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of inspirations that I both consciously and subconsciously try to emulate.
Yeah.
Chadwick Boseman's probably my number one,
Hmm.
but number two or three is definitely Drake. So hearing
Hmm.
that from Drake, I'm like, all right, that's how I should move. Like, I got
Right,
to be
right, right.
focused. You know what I mean? So no,
Yeah,
I just kind of
man.
appreciate that
I
lesson.
mean, like, yeah, taking the advice of dress for the role that you want, right?
Dress for the role that you want, man. It's real talk. Like, I don't know. I'm so glad that I went. This is my third time now seeing Drake.
Hmm.
I saw him first at the Larry Hoover concert with Kanye West, which was legendary. I saw him at Dreamfest with J. Cole, and that was legendary.
Yeah.
And seeing him one more time, just kind of focusing on like him as an artist. First of all, I appreciate his work ethic. I think you're not gonna find a musician working nearly as hard as Drake. I don't know how he's dropping
He
albums,
works. He
songs
works.
every year. Like
That
he
much is
really
true.
does work. I think the thing is, not saying that he isn't talented. I mean, this guy literally was about to get paid by Dr. Dre to write songs, so he has talent. But like, where
And he
I
was on
feel like a lot
Degrassi.
of
He was on
people,
Degrassi. That's the even more impressive feat.
that's the thing, because switching from one art to any other art is difficult when people know you for that one thing. But
It's
I'm just
true.
impressed in like where his talent may not have been. I think it is, but where his talent may not have pushed him to be that number one spot,
Hmm.
his work ethic did. Like he's an example of work can beat talent.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but he's
So my
also, he got a pen on him. That's
so
all.
my
That's
favorite
all
Drake songs, since we're celebrating Drake this episode, are Nice for What, In the
Word.
Morning, Forever, Over,
All those are
and
bangers.
I think those are my top four. I don't know if I have a fifth yet.
Yeah, you'll work your way up, man. You'll
I
work
mean,
your
that's
way up.
that's four more than a long time ago. You know what I'm saying?
That's real talk, real talk. And he didn't play Forever or In the Morning. But he did play those two other songs that you mentioned. So he
Hmm.
played a lot of songs. Like I came out of there thinking, like, dang, he played everything. But then I'm like, wait, he didn't play back to back. He
Yeah.
didn't play he played Work with Rihanna, but he didn't play uh was it All Night with Nicki Minaj? Like he just has a lot of songs
Yeah.
that he has in his arsenal. Like again, he performed for 2 hours pretty much
Yeah.
straight.
Okay.
I don't know many
I need
artists that can
to.
do that.
I need to go refill my water. But why don't you name your top three songs that he did perform?
Okay, here are the top three. This is biased because I have songs I just like. I think Drake has a lot of styles, but the style like most is his aggressive, like he wants to fight somebody style. So number one, I'm gonna give to Know Yourself. That is my favorite song of all time, actually. Know Yourself. It's produced by Boy Wonder, who's the GOAT. Like him, Metro Boomin, there's a couple other producers in there where they're like, I don't know, they are the best producers out right now in modern hip hop. Um, but Know Yourself is number one for me. Number two, I don't know. Things start to get difficult. I actually have a list of songs here,
Well,
and
you
I'm going
can't
to
even
share them
think of
with
number
you.
two. It sounds like you don't even know yourself.
Kevin, I have a playlist of.
Get it? Get it? Nah, see, because I could hear you because I had the AirPods in.
I hate you, Kevin. Anyway, I have a playlist of over 200 songs from Drake, and I do love it all when I'm because Drake kind of works in different moods depending on what your mood is. So it's kind of hard to pick a top three, but I do have a GOAT list that I like to refer to sometimes. Know Yourself is number one. Uh, this is featuring Drake, but this song goes crazy. Sicko Mode, which kind of feels like his song. That song's my number two, mainly because it's like my anthem. I feel like when I pull up in the building, Sicko Mode is playing. That's that's just facts. And then for a last pick, I'm gonna go with Sacrifices. It's on More Life.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of
Sacrifices,
that
so many
like
sacrifices, something like that.
something like that. So like it's more of that like melancholy, introspective Drake is kind of talking about like life right now, which is one of the styles I like from him most. Yeah, all three of those songs are absolute bangers, and I highly recommend all three.
Okay, how was Disney?
Whew. Literally, maybe 2, 3 days before Drake, I went to Disney World and also Sea World in Orlando.
Yeah.
Man, okay. I don't even know where to start because like the whole trip was like such a magical moment. But I will share some details that I feel like not a lot of people understand.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Disney has uh plethora of franchises, classics. The nostalgia is gonna run high when you pull up to Disney World. But
Mm-hmm.
to me, that wasn't the most magical part about it. There are rides in Disney World and like attractions, such as the Carousel of Progress, Land. This I think it's called the Land or this Land. Different attractions that are solely just based on Walt Disney's vision of a better world. So, with the Land, it's a ride about being using renewable, not just using renewable energy, but cultivating plants that are like completely edible. So this shows us on the ride they are growing all the food, plants, whatever on Disney World for the entire
Huh.
park or parks.
Interesting.
So, and then they said they were like making plants that were like completely edible and everything. Just a lot of ideas I think Walt Disney had on how to make a better world. When we went to it's another ride, the Carousel of Progress. It's just a carousel showing how technology progresses over time.
Mm-hmm.
And although it's probably one of the more dull rides, like you just kind of sit in the theater and the theater kind of circulates as you see like
Mm-hmm.
how we start from the telephone cables to TVs to VR and all that.
Oh, cool.
But it was
Yeah,
just
that
this
does sound cool.
really, it was kind of cool. And it just I don't know, it just kind of gave me this sense of like we can create a battle. And so at the end of our trip, because we went to Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Epcot. At the end of Epcot, which was the last day, they did this big fireworks show, and Epcot is really the center kingdom about making a better world. Even though these themes are kind of like sprinkled throughout all four of the parks.
Mm-hmm.
In that like giant fantastical, I mean, you already know Disney is the biggest purchaser and user of fireworks in the world. So fireworks are going for like 10, 15 minutes.
I
There's
know,
music
dude.
blasting. I mean, if you've been
Yeah.
to any Disney theme park, you understand that they do not hold back
Yeah, I
when
went
it
to
comes to
Disneyland,
fireworks.
in April when Ashley visited LA. And like,
Word.
yeah, and they had the fireworks show at the end, and it was insane. And like, that how it has like the art in the fireworks, like it has like scenes like projected on the water somehow.
Yeah, they did something like that
How?
in the Hollywood studios as well.
How, dude? How does that technology
Dude,
work?
that's what I'm saying. It's like, and then the way that it's not just the projections that was cool, the way it was edited together was beautiful. Like, I don't know how you don't come to tears watching this montage of not only what Disney has done for you in your childhood, but maybe some of the stuff that they've done for you in your teenage adult life.
Yeah,
So, they went all out there, and also with the fireworks at Epcot. Not only were they playing music, they were playing snippets of Walt Disney saying some things and some
yeah,
other people saying things. And it's just these things of like, I don't know, how beautiful he found uh not only the technology world, but the natural world, how much he wanted to blend these two elements together, and how much like he really had a vision for making this world a better place. And so like I not gonna lie, like something about that day is magical. It really is. Like if magic was like a tangible like thing, it's Disney
mhm.
World.
Well, I'm
It's
glad
Disney
you had a
World
good
hands down.
time. That sounds like it was an awesome time.
It was
And you
pretty
enjoyed
awesome.
the new Star Wars ride?
I don't know. I don't know if I did. I mean, no, that's a lie. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But let me explain to you the BS it took to just even get to that point. So,
Yeah.
um, first of all, out of the four parks, Hollywood Studios is probably the most barren of the four. And because of that, there's just not a lot of like attractions or things to see there. Um,
But
so that
there's
means all the
there's oh wait, no, never mind. Now I'm mixing up Disneyland with Disney World. I went to Disney World like 2 years ago or something, maybe three.
were did you
So
do all the parks?
just Hollywood Studios.
Were
Yeah. And
yeah, I
that's
feel
where that's
like
when I went on Rise of the Resistance.
yeah. So there's because there's less attractions in Hollywood Studios, the queue lines for all the coolest stuff is way longer there than any of the other parks.
Hmm.
So um Indiana Jones stunt show was amazing. I just want to start off with that. And I saw it with my mom and my brother. And my mom was like, "Oh my god, I want to rewatch all the Indiana Jones movies just because I forgot how great of a character that was."
I got to see the new one.
I haven't seen the new one either. I haven't seen the new one either. So it's definitely on my list of stuff to see.
Mhm.
So that was like for me, that might be the biggest highlight just because of the feeling I got afterward. But the second ride is called Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. And oh my God. First of all, I wasn't really sure what it was. Kevin hyped it up. He was like, yo, trust me, whatever that wait time is, just do it.
Well,
All
also I
right.
got to like skip the line because like it was like new or something, and there was this like reservation and
Oh, were you doing like
somehow
virtual queue lines at the time?
yeah, it was because it was brand new, and so somehow the line like was not that long, or yeah, like I because I remember like I remember walking through it like a maze, and it was mostly empty, and then the line wasn't very long at the front. So
Oh, hold on. My brother
yeah.
is trying to call me. Let's see what he's gonna say. All right, hold
What's up,
on.
Jason?
Have a little Jason phone call. Brother, yo, before you say anything, you were on the Starbound podcast. What's up?
Oh, I came to ask you, when you were in high school, how much SSL hours did you get?
I think I had to get at least 120 hours.
75.
It's
120.
75 now?
It was
Yeah,
75.
75 now.
Oh, never mind. I think I did pretty much the bare minimum. Like I got 75 hours and was like, I was done with that. But I know some other people. I think you, Kevin, you did like a stupid amount of hours.
Well, when
It
we
was like
did
200 hours or something. I know
when we
some people
did
that went like crazy with
yeah,
it.
when we did
Mm.
LIT way off Broadway, we got like
I
a bunch
lost
of
it,
hours
dude.
per summer.
Most of my hours got from that. But remember, I couldn't really do LITing for that camp until like the very end.
Oh, so you
So
got 60. I think it was like 60 per summer or something like that.
60 per summer. Love you, but bye.
I guess he got his question answered.
Isn't his voice deeper?
Yeah, dude, that's how it works when I mean, Jay, like I
He's
was
11 right
gone.
now,
I was
turning
gone.
12 next January.
I was gone at college and for like a few weeks, right? And then I come back and his voice is just like it was like da 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 da. Oh yeah, da da da. He sounds like he's 12. And then I get back, he's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, whoa.
Where are the other drugs going?
Exactly. Sounding like Christian Bale.
Yeah, and the thing is, I know his dad, and his dad has a really deep voice, and I would hate if my brother has a deeper voice than me. It can't happen. It can't. I won't allow it. I'll see
Yeah.
his little Adam's apple starting to drop. I'm gonna keep my hand right there. I'm gonna lift it up a little bit. Like, nah, keep it right there.
Yeah,
Cause like,
just start talking at that lower octave and you'll be
yo,
good.
yeah, what's up, brother? Like, yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yeah, but so what do you think of the ride? Sorry, that was a loud clap.
All right, back to Dark Knight. With the Dark Knight Rises of the Resistance.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Back to Dark Knight Rises of the Resistance. But I waited in that line for 115 minutes, damn near 2 hours. There were people behind me because the queue line got worse while I was in there. They went up to 140 minutes. I seen it be 150 earlier that day. So there are people waiting there for damn near like 2.5, 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
I'm in line, right? And at first I'm like, okay. And then the second hour starts to go by. I'm like, Kevin, I texted you this too. I'm like, bro,
Yeah,
this better be.
Yeah.
I'm like, this better be worth it because I'm starting to forget my own name. Because the way it works, the line, the line is in like this cave, like this dark resistance cavern thing.
It's cool. It's like themed to the ride. It's like
it's cool for the first 10, 20 minutes. And then you don't see any sunlight for hours. And you're like, yo, what the fuck is the time?
Yeah, for me, it wasn't, like I said, it was only like 10 minutes.
Anyway, so I started making friends with everyone around me because we've been in there for a minute. And I finally, after 2.5 hours, get to the end. And I see 7 people come out of the lightning lane line, right? A whole family. They probably stay at the resorts there. A whole 7 people pull up, and then they pull out just me to be the little group that goes on the ride.
What?
Yeah. They're like intentionally making the standby wait so much worse. They're taking like a lot of people from lightning lane and like 1 to 2, something like that from standby.
Expose Disney World.
It's bad, man. Anyway, so I'm the one person added to this group. I'm like, all right, cool. And then all of a sudden the entire group looks at me. And keep in mind, not that it matters for this context. This is like a whole white family. So I see an old white uncle, 3 or 4 white children. These are like white people too. They're like the white people with like a little bit of money. So they all turn around and look at me like this. They're like, it's just you?
Whoa.
And I'm like, and look.
Wait. Was your fam not with you on this one?
Yeah, my family could not handle the weight. They thought it was insane.
So then you had to like,
we're not doing this.
So
I soloed that shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I soloed that jaunt.
Yeah, that would make it longer, I feel like. Because then you're like,
if I was alone?
Yeah.
I don't know, because then Jason, I feel like he would start complaining halfway through, and I would not be able to stand that. Because he's right. You know what I mean? That weight is crazy.
Right.
Anyway, where was I? Oh, right. This white family turns around. They're like, just you? And I'm like, are y'all all like the same group or something? Like, what's going on? And they're like, oh yeah, we're all this one family. We stay at the resort and we got our lightning lane ticket for this here and da. But they were expecting more people from the standby or or like whatever to join them. So they're like, oh, that's kind of weird. I'm like,
okay, our meeting will end. Our meeting will end in 10 minutes. By the way,
all right, I'll hurry it up. But where was it? Right. So I was like, oh no, I feel like the odd one out. And they're like, oh no, it's cool. You can be part of the family for today. And I'm like, all right, bet. Like that sounds. I feel welcome. So I'm like, all right, yo, what's up, uncle? Like what's up?
Right,
Like I'm
right,
being all
right.
friendly and everything, and then it starts, and then we get on the ship, and we're supposed to apparently transport a spy to to whatever planet,
Right.
but then we get kidnapped by the Empire. So this Imperial lady pulls into the ship and is like, "Hey, we know there's a spy amongst you, yada da da da," and then I don't know. I was making a couple jokes at the time just because like I was kind of nervous about like what was going on. And
Right.
then when one of the kids is like, you know what? We're a party of 8 now. And I'm like, all right, bet. So then we go into this room. There's 100 stormtroopers just lined up. I have a picture of it too. I'll put it on Instagram or something
But you didn't
at
even
the
mention
King Kudjo.
how like when you get in, right? Like the ship, you can't feel it like moving.
No, the same way that we entered the ship and then exited the ship, two completely different locations. It was the most immersive experience, most immersive ride in all of Disney World, land, whatever. I've never seen anything like that. It was crazy.
Yeah. You walk in the
Walk in,
doors.
mad stormtroopers everywhere. I'm like, yo, what is going on? Like these kids, they're all like, I think some of them have been on it before. So they're like making fun of the imperialist lady. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, we're about to get interrogated, bro. So after this segment, which is already crazy, there's another 2 lines. There's a standby line, and then there's like a lightning lane line. And because they were like, oh nah, like we're a party of 8 now, I went with them into the lightning lane line. So people I saw ahead of me in the standby wait in the other line, in the first line, they were behind me in the second line.
Okay.
So we skip a little bit. They're about to take us into a room. They're like, all right, how many in this party? The lady's like, oh, we're a party of 8. And I'm like, yep, I'm here. I'm right here. Party of 8. Like the imperialist lady was so pissed off. She was like, rebels. And like and
Wait,
so
you're
it's
saying party of 8. They said party of 8? You're like a party of 8? They asked you that while you were in the ride?
they were like, no, we weren't in the ride. There's a second line. So there's 2 lines, right?
What?
There's the first line to get on the ship to
Yeah.
get up into space, but then the Empire takes over. So then after the Empire takes over, there's a second line to continue the ride.
I
And
do not remember the second line. What's the second line look like?
after you see the room with the stormtroopers, they have 2 lines after that. And
Oh, you mean, but
yeah.
you mean what? But it's like in the hallways of like the
It's in the
Empire.
hallway
Yeah.
of the it's in the hallways of the Imperial ship.
Okay,
Empirical?
so
First order
okay,
ship? My bad. First
so
order.
when I went, like the sort of the stormtroopers and all them were talking to us, not like, oh, are you a party of 8? They were like yelling at us and like being like, stay in your single file line, like all that stuff, like to immerse you in the experience. So it was
They
like
were
waiting,
hassling us.
but did
I'm
they
no, I'm
break?
not.
So they didn't break character, right?
Sometimes I question it because I feel like an imperialist would be fucking annoyed at these people, but also a regular person would be annoyed at these people. So I'm not sure.
Right, right. But
I
they
don't
also
think
wouldn't
they
be
broke.
saying like, "Are you a party of 8?" Maybe I'm focusing too much
They
on that
might have
specific
they
thing.
might have worded it differently. They might have been like, how many are in your they asked us how many people was in our specific
Okay,
group.
okay, okay. Because I
So they
think
might have worded it in a more
they
Star
treat
Warsy
you
way,
as like
but
prisoners, right? Because they treat you like you're like
no,
they're
she.
yeah.
I was like, wait, because I think she said we're gonna prep you for interrogation. I'm like, wait, we're being interrogated, and the lady, the imperialist lady, she looks at me like this. She's like, do you not know what's going on here? And I'm like, my bad. like, like, it was pretty intense. I'm not gonna lie.
You feel like you're in Star Wars, man. Like they do a good job with that, right?
No, it's so immersive. So then we get into this cell, and Kylo Ren's there being like, oh, you resistance scum, blah, blah, blah. Boom, something happened. Kylo and General Hux are running around. All of a sudden, the door, like the resistance cut a door through the wall. Literally. I'm not like literally. And then they walk in like, all right, we're gonna bust you out of here. And so they take us onto like these little escape cards with our own little like droid. I was like touching it and we'd be like, oh, okay, droid, like let's go. And then zoom, we're zipping around the entire like the entire ship. Kylo Ren like stabs his lightsaber through the ceiling. Finn is like hidden in a corner shooting, bow 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 bow. And I'm like, hey yo, what is going on? So like that jump, it was crazy.
It was awesome. That's what I'm saying. Like,
to put
that
it
was
short,
like,
that was the most crazy, immersive. Like it was honestly, after I was off, I was like, it was worth the 2 hour wait.
dude, because
100% worth
right,
it. I
because like
highly recommend it.
where else are you gonna get like that much of an immersive experience in Star Wars? Like they were full. You know what I'm saying? Like
You're
it was
not.
so cool. Right. That's what
That's
I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying. And I wish, I almost now want Disney World to be entirely revamped with more rides like this, where it's a
Yeah.
whole experience.
Right. Did you go
Because
on
they
the
could do
Millennium
that with.
Falcon?
I did go on the Millennium Falcon. That was pretty
So
cool.
that was right. So that was
pretty
like
cool.
it was like similar, but it was like almost like a just like a shorter. It was like a. It was almost like a part of what Rise of the Resistance was. Rise of the Resistance was like almost like multiple.
They're
rides.
similar. They're similar.
Right,
I feel like Rise of the Resistance has multiple different parts, and they all have their
Exactly.
own way of being immersive. Where the
Yeah.
Millennium Falcon, you ride the freaking Millennium Falcon. You
That was
ride
good
that
too.
You
That
know what I
was
mean?
good too.
Pause. But
Yeah.
that was fantastic. No, all the Star Wars rides are great. The Indiana Jones show was great. I even like Muppet Vision. I just feel like because we just got off of Magic Kingdom, and then after we had Animal Kingdom and Epcot, it is very clear that Hollywood Studios is the smallest of the four.
Interesting.
So, I mean, me and my whole family have different opinions, but Hollywood Studios is the lowest of my ranking of kingdoms at Disney World.
Even with Rise of the Resistance.
That's the thing. It's like Kanye West for me. It's like the highs of this one place are higher than maybe all four of them, but there's too little. Whereas the other ones have a better spread of just like a great experience.
Okay. Interesting.
Me and my family were kept walking like back and forth trying to make it like times for shows and like different rides and stuff. And it was like, it just didn't give the same vibe, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, Magic Kingdom is cool because it's like got like the classic.
although it's
stuff.
second for my mom. She really loves.
Yeah, Animal Kingdom was cool.
Because not only the rides are what's the word, immersive. The Galaxy's Edge, the little area they carved out for all the Star Wars stuff, is immersive. There's music playing. It looks like Jakku. Like you see Chewbacca running around. You see stormtroopers. My brother was talking to a stormtrooper like, "Hey, what are your opinions on Darth Vader?" And then he was like, "Roger that. Moving on." And it was like, and it was just a great experience. All four of the kingdoms are magical to me. I highly recommend everyone go to Disney World and also SeaWorld. I was there too. That was pretty fun.
So one of the cool things they had
it's got a
Disney...
minute 40. I'm checking that time, but continue.
Oh, right. We have 1 minute. Okay. I was just going to say, I liked seeing Radiator Springs from Cars at Disneyland. That's what I was going to say. That was one of my favorites.
That was nice. I think that might be the highlight of California Adventure for me. I mean, okay, second to Avengers Campus, just because you know, I'm a huge Marvel fan. But if I wasn't a Marvel fan and just in general fan, I feel like Radiator Springs was fantastic.
It was so cool. It had the cones and all that stuff. Okay. All right. So we have 1 minute left. So we do our outro. Well, that was fun. That was just basically a Drake/Disney World episode. But
I had a lot, dude. There's a lot going on this month.
But we'll continue to catch up next episode. I feel like we just got started, but
we did, man. Catch us on the next episode.
It's a part
one. Yeah, it's a part one. Part two coming soon. And yeah, man, this is your host, King Kudjo.
And Cough Drippy.
I'll catch you on that next episode, guys. 2 Chainz.
Peace.